everyone, my name is Catherine and I'm World from World of Writing. Before we get started, please like, comment, and subscribe to support my channel, and go check out my Instagram at World of Writing, where I have many writing tips and writer fun content. Okay, today I'll be talking about incorporating beta reader feedback, so let's jump right into the video. I was originally going to do a vlog for this video with a voiceover of what I wanted to talk about, but I had to change plans. I need to change some super major stuff in my book before I continue incorporating beta reader feedback, which I will talk about in an upcoming video, but I won't be doing any more incorporating beta reader feedback past what I've done before this video to get some tips for you guys. So I won't be doing that. Instead, we're going to have a sit down and chat video today, so sit down, relax, and let's chat. If you have not yet sent your manuscript out to beta readers, or you just want to know what I did before sending my manuscript out to beta readers, I encourage you to go check out my previous video, Prepping for Betas, which will be right there, to get caught up. Okay, now that we're all caught up, let's start at the beginning and talk about how my beta readers gave me their feedback. If you watched my previous video, you know that it was totally optional if my beta readers wanted to comment throughout my document or not. I asked them to choose whether they wanted to answer my questions at the end of every chapter or at the end of 5 chapters. I talked about this in the last video, but I'm going to go over it just really quick so you know what we're working with if you didn't watch the last video. One of the beta readers that is mostly done did every chapter, and one of them did every 5 chapters. Short answer is I'm happy with both of them, slightly different, but I'm happy with both. Once I had multiple people far enough along that I was confident I wouldn't catch up to them in my edits, I took all the written feedback, which for me that means the answers at the end of the chapters and excluding the in-document comments. And I put them all into one document for the first 5 chapters, which was just titled chapters 1 through 5. Then in my writer's notebook, which is new, I'll talk about that next video, I started a beta reader feedback notes section. The first page was notes for an overview of the first 5 chapters. I included my thoughts on what I thought needed to change. This was a big overview page. It was just totally general, nothing specific. Just I was reading through and jotting down my thoughts. Then I moved on to a page for more specific scenes in the first 5 chapters. I wrote down a list of every scene that got positive feedback to help my morale while I was editing. And on that same page, I wrote down a list of every scene that got negative feedback so that when I was done editing, I knew that I needed to at least have edited these scenes. And I should have done more than that, but if I didn't get to those, I definitely wasn't done because obviously I didn't go through all the feedback. Next, I moved on to what was, for me, the most important part of incorporating feedback. I made a list of everything I wanted to change, no matter how big or how small. Though for me it wasn't too big because I was not at the time looking at in-document comments, which were like line things. Anyway, I made this list and I ended up with 30 things. On the next page, I took that same list and put it in order from hardest to do to easiest to do. And I didn't end up doing them in order, but I still thought it was helpful to do that because, for example, the first task took me 5 days because I did 1 chapter at a time because it was in every single chapter. But during those 5 days, I did 10 other things on my list that were just easier. They were in the bottom of the list, but had I wanted to do that first task in 1 day, I would have gotten totally overwhelmed really quickly. Okay, now that you know what I did, let's go into my tips. My first tip is to read the feedback as it's coming in. Read it and then leave it until you have all the feedback you need to start working. I did this just for fun, but it ended up helping me a lot because I was expecting the criticism I got when I was reading it. I was ready to read that my favorite character didn't make much sense, so then it didn't feel as frustrating when I had to change them. It just helped me. And then once you are ready to incorporate feedback, read all of it over. I would take notes. Do what you want to do. This is just my opinion. Anyway, read it over just in one block. That's what my overview notes were for. They can help you with brainstorm type things. They can just help give you a idea of what you're working with. This next one is super self-explanatory, but I recommend making a list of what you're going to do. I would recommend doing it because it helped me and I think it would help you. It's just a good starting point. Next, similar but not as self-explanatory, is put that list in order from hardest to easiest, but don't necessarily do it in order. I know, I know. Why put it in order if you're not going to do it in order? Well, if you have a super hard task on your first day, you're starting with the number one task, the one at the very top. That's going to be a super hard task. And if you pair number one on your list with number two on your list, the two hardest tasks on your list, it is not going to seem doable. I mean, maybe you're some crazy, amazing editor and you can do that. But I at least cannot do my two hardest tasks in one day, or in the expectation would take me to do my average tasks. If I paired my first task with like my 10th task that was like towards the bottom of the list, I mean, it seemed a lot more doable. Prioritizing them or putting them in hardest to easiest. If you can see on your list that number one task is a super hard task, you'll be more likely to pair it with an easy task and then make the whole day, the whole pair of tasks, easier. That way each day is a little bit more manageable, or each set of tasks is a little bit more manageable, and you're probably more likely to finish. Before you start shaking your head saying, yeah, but that's basically what you did. Yeah, I know. But I found that what I did worked pretty well for me. It was a good system and it worked. So, of course, I'm going to recommend it. And I, do what works for you. Obviously, exactly what worked for me probably isn't going to work for you, but it worked for me. So I'm going to tell you that it worked for me because it did. Plus, I kind of did a lot of research beforehand, so I knew what the average was going into this. But, I do have one kind of major tip that I did not do that I'm going to give to you. If you ask for an overall summary at the end of the book, answering all your questions in detail, just basically a thing at the end, which I do recommend doing, read that first. Please read that first. Read that first and think about it, because I read it when I was going through all the feedback, but it was too much for me to think about, so I didn't think about it. And when I came back, I remembered it being too much for me to think about, so I didn't read it first. It turned out that I agreed with a really major critique that I need to do because I agree with it. The person pointed it out and I completely agree with it. I saw it and I was like, oh, they're right. Crap. So now I have to take a break from what I was doing and go back and start basically at the beginning because I didn't read that first. By the way, if the person who gave me that critique knows who they are and is watching this, thank you for giving me that critique. I am not ever upset at you. I think it is going to make my manuscript so much better. Nonetheless, if I had read the summary first, I would have done it before editing the first 5 chapters. And I would have saved myself a lot of time. So, please, read the summary. Make sure there are no big picture items you need to do before you start. And it'll be worth your while to do those first if they are, and if there aren't, good job. Honestly, high five, good job, good for you. Made it to the end of the video. Thank you for watching the whole video. It really helps my channel. I'm really appreciative of everyone who watched the whole video because, yeah, it's exciting for me, it helps my channel, and just all around fun. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to my channel if you liked the video because you can see more of my videos and because it really helps my channel. Oh, also, now that we're done with the video, please go hop over to Instagram before you continue scrolling and check out my Instagram at World of Writing because I post writing tips and writer fun content. Have a great day. Bye.